Tepeu and Gukumats, the manifestation of the creator and teacher, said, "The time is near when the sun must rise, and everything we have done will be finished to perfection." Then they got together and celebrated a meeting, and from this meeting rose the light of wisdom in all its clarity. And they found what they had been looking for to create man.
Popol Vuh.
The Mayas were jungle people who professed a profound spirituality. Contrary to popular opinion, the Mayas were no fetishists, but very spiritual people who carried out their beliefs in all aspects of their lives. For them, all creatures of the jungle were gifted with transcendent spirits. Primary elements such as fire, wind, water, earth, and sky to the Mayas were deities who provided them with the means of subsistence, and therefore they did not only owe them gratitude, but also the most prized offerings that they could find. The ceremonies of the Mayas are still carried out according to ancestral customs. An altar of organic material is made up, and at the moment of the actual ceremony taking place, they build a bonfire that invokes the presence of the deity of fire, Tohil. Additionally, pom is burnt, a kind of incense extracted from plant resins, in order to purify the place as well as its participants. In several places on the altar, candles of various colors are burnt that symbolize all the virtues to bring about the satisfaction of the venerated deity. Given the profoundly sacred of their rituals, the Mayas strove to find places of adoration that would fulfill their expectations. Today, there are still ceremonial sites maintained inside caves and caverns. These surroundings, in the depths of the earth, created a suitable atmosphere for the magic, extrasensory conceptions of the Mayas. Lake Atitlan was another of the preferred ceremonial sites of the Mayas, which they referred to as sacred sinkhole. Everywhere at the lake shore, there are altars for worshiping, which are mounted on rocks and outcrops next to the water of this spectacular lake, surrounded by 3 volcanoes that instill profound veneration, and aired by Kukulkang, the deity of the winds. The Mayas adorn themselves with decorations made of jade, quartz, obsidian, and feldspat. These stones established a link between the human being and the afterlife, while they constantly reminded them of their permanent connection with the earth. The Mayas had the concept that the cosmos is made up of 13 heavens, one on top of the other, and that the earth was on the lowest plan of the universe. They request from their deities the gifts of life, of health, of livelihood, of triumph over their adversaries, and in exchange, they carried out various offerings and purification rituals that were characterized by great meticulousness. In the center of the Mayan cosmos was the Yakshe, or sacred Seva, whose branches extended to the heavens, while their roots penetrated the underworld. The dances also were an essential part of these ceremonies. Nowadays, these ceremonial dances can be enjoyed in Mayan historical dramas, such as the Palank and the Rabinalachi, in which the dancers are the actors. A good part of the Mayan ceremonies was dedicated to fire, Tohil, the life-giving force, so it would bless them with abundant harvests and give meaning to their ritual and social celebrations. The arrival of the Spanish in America marked a change in the way the Mayas carried out their adorations, but never a change in the way they conceived the world and their relationship with it. This combination of Mayan beliefs with the beliefs of the Old World gave way to cultural and religious syncretism, which nowadays still manifests in various liturgical expressions. For example, the cult of Mashimon, a figure that is venerated as a result of the Spanish invasion and jealousy watched over by the indigenous people of the Guatemalan Highlands. The flying of the giant kites on the Catholic celebration of All Saints' Day symbolizes the connection between life and the souls in the hereafter. Curiously, before the Spanish came, the Mayas also had a symbol of the cross. The Maya cross is a stylized representation of the cosmic tree, the ceiba, and the corn plant. Besides that, it indicates the four cardinal points. The Mayan cross was the base of their arts of divination. The northern position, or the acabal, the color white, symbolizes air, respiration, and the human skeleton. It indicates the spiritual development of a person. Kan, or eastern position, the color red, represents blood, energy, and strength. When prominent in a person, that person would have the power of healing. The western position, or Noch, the color black, represents the setting of the sun, sleep, rest, the end of the mortal body. If the western position is dominant, the person will share knowledge acquired through his or her life, which will then turn into wisdom. Finally, the southern position, or Kawok, the color yellow, represents the basic substance of human existence, the matter, corn, which a man is made of. With this influence, the person will have the inclination to work in benefit of the family and the community. The Mayas also had two dominant cosmic forces of duality, very well conceptualized. For the Mayas, yin and yang represented life and death. At the same time, they symbolized day and night, good and bad, body and spirit. In this dualistic religion, benevolent deities produce positive things, such as thunder, rays, rain, corn, and abundance, while famine and miseries produced by hurricanes, droughts, and wars were attributed to malevolent deities. The Mayas felt their connection with nature and therefore respected it and took from it only what was strictly necessary. The animals were not just representatives of the supernatural forces, but they were gifted with virtues they embodied. These days, the descendants of the Mayas have grouped into so-called cofradías in order to preserve and make their old traditions known. These cofradías are made up of elders or priests with the greatest knowledge and experience. These elders practically act as spiritual guides of their respective communities. In November 1995, close to 180 elders, spiritual guides from all over the Americas, gathered in Tikal and in other sacred places to activate the ancient Maya ceremonial centers, among other things, to celebrate a council to share ancestral knowledge, traditions that each and every one of the original people of the continent possessed. For the Mayas, it was vitally important to determine with absolute precision the position of an event in time. The Mayan calendar of the long count constituted a tangible and at the same time magic instrument to assure the inalterability of time. In some way, this calendar is an inevitable consequence of social and natural order. However, the Mayas gave more importance to the calendar of the short count, better known as the Sol King. The Sol King is a sacred calendar that consists of 260 days, the same length a pregnancy lasts. These 260 days are divided into 13 months of 20 days, or kins each. Each day has its own nawal, owner, or master, which exerts a determining influence on people that were born on a particular day. The Sol King was also of great use to the augurs, who put themselves to the task of predicting the destiny of people and future events. Additionally, the Sol King was used to calculate the solstices and equinoxes, as well as the coming of the rainy season, the favorable days for planting, and even to determine the appearances and daily conjunctions of Venus. According to the beliefs of the Mayas, the soul after death undertakes a walk that takes it to Xibalba, the underworld, or the underground dwelling. In the Mayan cosmovision, life and death are mysterious paths. Contrary to many other cultures, the Mayas celebrate death, since it is not seen as the end of existence, but as a continuation of an infinite cycle. But the Mayas also believed in heaven, or in a paradise of the sun, where the souls of such warriors went that had died bravely on the battlefield. Contrary to the current conclusions, the Mayas came to the world in order to stay forever. Their cultural legacy is a heritage for humanity, a teaching on how mankind can harmoniously live together with nature without doing damage, much less destroy it. The Popol Vuh ends with this prediction: everything that was ours to do is done. Our days are over. Do not forget us. Look first at your house, at your homeland. Settle down, multiply. Walk and go again to the place where we came from. Let the sun rise, let the dawn appear, let the light illuminate the consciousness and the hearts of all people, and let nobody stay behind.